Hi there, everybody. My name is Kevin, and I'm here to give actually a really good review on SaaSyway. I love the name SaaSy, software as a service. Makes sense. It just rolls off the tongue really well. And also talking about this guy, Santosh, the founder of SaaSyway. They do a ton of services. I'm not using all their services, but very specifically, I came across them for their high level knowledge. We needed a high level dashboard, and we had a really complex set of data and issues, and I wanted a robust dashboard. And came across a bunch of other devs that were doing all kinds of messing around with automations, and you got to be careful now, especially with AI now, right? Because all these guys, whether it's Zapier and Make and all these coding platforms that use AI, you're getting a lot of low-level developers saying they can do your project, but then they're creating two or three or four different platforms to then try to solve your issue. And you might have your issue solved. But we've gone down that path years ago. And I was banging my head. I was running into devs that do this. So I ran into SaaSyway because on a Facebook forum, they were asking questions of another person. Somebody asked a question and he goes, "Oh, well, have you thought about this, this, and this?" So by the questions they were asking, it gave me pause because I also know that, instead of just saying yes, 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 we can do your project, everybody wants your money. They were asking questions first, and immediately I asked them a question, and they said, "Oh yeah, we can do that. We'll go from your high level to an AWS server." Because I was very familiar with Looky as a dashboard, right? Looker Studio, right, or Google's Data Studio thing in the past. And I was very familiar with that years ago, but I only knew how to get data out of a spreadsheet. I had no idea you could go to a server database. And they said, "Oh yeah, you take your data from high level. We're familiar. We're high level devs. You export it constantly to an AWS server. We set you up you can have your account for free, nominal. Even if you're a huge user, it's only like $5 or $10 from AWS, Amazon or whatever. Even if you're a huge user, which they said we probably wouldn't be. So our costs are going to be super low, and Looker Studio is free, right? And it's like, oh my goodness, that's awesome. So we only have to pay for some coding for some app development once to go from high level to AWS, and from AWS, to make sure we just design the Looker Studio to pull the data and show it the way we want. And I'm a novice Looker Studio person as well, so I wanted also it to be done in a way so that at least all the data is there. So if I want to mess around with future dashboards, they would let me. They weren't nitpicking. They were going to just charge me the one charge, um, and and I was super happy. And yet it had super future value to me, and so I was willing to pay for that, and it was good because so you get what you pay for. There's always that montage, and it's always a struggle between trying to hire somebody and they're trying to get maximum dollar, and you're trying to keep the price fair and reasonable to you, and at the end of the day have a project you're super happy with, right? And I was even super happy, even more happier, because it had I asked them to make sure that I understood it and that it had future expandability for me. And one of the things too is we're already in talks with SaaSyway, making because I'm so impressed with them. I'm going to be recommending them to other clients because we use High Level as a white label platform, and I'm selling it to other companies and agency or other organizations, right? So from time to time, they'll need some reporting and dashboards. So I'm going to recommend them SaaSyway. And then on top of that, they have other services, onboarding services, and they have way more additional services and way more platforms than high level than they're familiar with, I'm sure. all the way from website design. I'm sure they have a huge team. If anything, what was nice was Santosh right after our initial conversation was he got his team on board. We had Zoom conversations, him, his team. So I was able to talk to both the technical dev in-depth person that I needed to talk to, and Santosh was also the coordinator to make sure that happened. So great job, buddy, on a platform. I wish you well, and I will be continuing to use you and push people your way too, even just whether we hire you to service our clients, which is we'll be hiring you more often, or if I just outright recommend you deal with our clients, I am happy to do such, and I trust you guys do that. They were very communicative over WhatsApp and video and stuff like that. English was great and passable. Sometimes that's a bit of an issue. If they can't, as a North American, sometimes accents are definitely a little harsh, but they were very communicative. And as long as they get the job done and the project done right, then top marks. So way to go, guys. I really appreciate you, and we'll continue working with you in the future. I got them on WhatsApp, and I keep hitting them up all the time with my additional job requests and insights. And even with your project, sometimes your project is finished, but then, days or weeks later there's little glitches or something like that, and you just let them know and they jump right on it, and they can tweak it and figure it out for you. So okay, can't wait. We're going to have a bright future together, and hopefully everybody else try out SaaSyway.